Yeah,
We're all set. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Nice to meet you.
You too.
So, before we get into your life and your work with being a motivational speaker, how did you survive COVID? The last 3 years has been quite a thing. How did you get through it, and how has it changed the way that you do things now?
Right now, I mean, it hasn't really changed at all, to be honest with you, what I do. Like, yeah, when COVID was the thing, I was doing a lot of virtual stuff, but I'm not back to pretty normal. So, I mean, like as normal as it was before for me.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and in the sense of how did I get through? You mean with my business, my life, like
I
when
just
you ask this
it
question?
all intertwines. It's like the circles that all come together. It's like everything was affected. So just kind of how did you maintain and get through it?
Yeah, it's been great for my business, actually. I mean, unfortunate to say, but we're really, really affected a lot of youth, a lot of teens, students. So it ramped up my business more. I was able to get through it just by, again, on the business side, doing things virtually. And then, thank God I had a companion, my wife, because if I didn't have somebody like that and I was alone a in a condo, I probably would have went, I could have went stir crazy. So she really helped me to get through it. We were able to be with each other and whatnot too. So yeah,
Cool. So let's put you in front of a bunch of third graders at a career day. One of the kids looks up and says, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How do you answer that child?
for me, I say what I do for a living. It's a passion of mine, my life work, my dream. What I do is I help youth who are going through stressful, struggling, tough moments in life, whether anxiety, depression, substance misuse, take the first step to speak up and ask for help from what they're going through so that they can live a much happier, healthier, and more fulfilling life.
So what did you want to be in the third grade? What was your dream to grow up and become?
I wanted to be a hockey player.
Okay. Now
Yep,
you were an athlete. You did some you
I was.
what'd you do?
Played hockey. I mean, growing up in high school, I played hockey, I played lacrosse, I played soccer, I played tennis, I played baseball. Growing up, I played just all sorts of. I mean, I rode crew for a year, so I tasted it all, tried it all.
Let me ask you this, since you're a big sports fan, if you could go back and see any sporting event live in person, what would you love to have seen?
I would have loved to have seen the game that Bobby Orr, the famous pitcher, when he's diving in the air versus the St. Louis Blues.
Right on. I asked that question to somebody one time, and they said, I want to go back to see that 1980 game where they won the Olympic, and the
Yeah,
Olympic goal. I was like, dude, you were there. He was there. And I couldn't imagine seeing something that cool.
I know. Yeah, it's pretty amazing for sure.
That's cool. So, as somebody that admires sports and obviously has a lot of stamina and motivation, who's been a hero for you?
In the sports world,
Any any way that motivated you and made you a better person?
it's not a person, it's those people out there who go through those tough moments. They're my heroes. They are what keep me going. They are what really lift me up, whether it's an athlete, whether it's just a regular person off the street, a teenager, a male, a female, an adult. When they're going through these tough moments, I really look up to my heroes, or those who are actually able to get through them in a healthy way, making healthy choices instead of making those unhealthy choices.
So, if you can meet anybody alive on the planet right now, who would it be? Who would you love to spend a minute with?
Oh, geez. Um, Never really thought about that, but to be honest with you, um, hmm, I don't know. To be
Yeah.
honest, never really thought about that. But I mean, I know it wouldn't be a sports figure. It wouldn't be somebody famous. It would have to be somebody, I can tell you this, it'd have to be somebody out there who would help me with what I'm doing, who would help me become a better person. So I'm not really into the whole, like, that's great. Someone can throw a football and they're making 50, $60 million. That's awesome. Someone can shoot a basketball. They're making 50. That's awesome. Somebody's great at hockey. They can score goals. That's great. What do you do outside of that? That's a big thing for me. So it wouldn't be a sport athlete because they're just so good at a sport. The little me in middle school, high school, definitely would have said that. But now with what happened with my brother, my whole life has shifted. And so I really look up to those athletes who do things away from the court, the ice, the field, who have their foundations that help somebody that may, is foundation for MS, a foundation for cancer, a foundation for addiction, something like that. Those are the types of people that I would, if I could, surround myself with.
So, what is the motivation for you? What is the joy that you get daily out of doing the work that you do?
The joy daily is when I go and I speak at a school and I have a student come up to me, or I hear that a student went up to a teacher and they say, I need help. Can you help me? That's the joy. That is the $1 million paycheck for me, because of what my brother went through, of what I've seen my friends go through, what I see people in my family go through, the heartbreak, the struggle, the fight, that it's so hard to take this first step, and to be able to help somebody through that journey, to be able to help them to get to that next level and to really help them to heal and deal with what they're going through, start that process. You just can't put a number of money on that. You just can't put I get that tingly sensation in my body, that like rush of, all right, let's help this person.
So,
That is why I do what I do.
so you referenced your brother. Talk to me a little bit about your brother and the impact that it's made on you.
That's why I do what I do. I started this whole journey of helping students helping youth make healthy life decisions when going through tough moments in life. Because growing up, my younger brother suffered from social anxiety, went through some other things, a lot of stress, depression, and didn't realize he had people in his life who would have helped him get through these tough moments. So instead, he made the unhealthy choice to start drinking, which led to him start smoking, which led to him messing around with Percocets, Oxycontin, Xanax. And then 15 years ago, he died from a fentanyl overdose from shooting heroin. And so for me, it's if he had known and realized my parents would have helped him, they would have maybe gotten a little mad, but deep down inside, they would have helped him. They would have done what they could to help him get through this. If he had saw that his sport coaches, if he had approached them, if he had approached the counselor, if he had approached the teacher, that they would have done what they could to help him, not hurt him, not put him down, not make him feel bad, but help him.
Yeah.
And I firmly believe he'd still be here, because he wouldn't have started drinking, smoking, messing around with that stuff. So why I do what I do is because when I go and I speak to students, I see little Brendans everywhere. And I say to myself, there are kids in this crowd right now that are struggling. You may not see it, but there are kids. It's a fact. Like it's true facts that when I step into a room of hundreds of kids, there are a handful plus of kids struggling. And so to be able to help them make the healthy choice like my brother didn't, that's it right there.
So, what are you the proudest of that you've done so far in your life?
Doing this again, it's funny how, just like different stages of life. If you had asked me, let's say, 10 years ago, I would have said hockey, play Division I hockey. Honestly, could give two craps about that. Like when it comes to what I'm doing right now, right? If you would ask me again, when I graduated college, that's what I would have said. For me, I am proudest of being able to help those who are struggling, to be able to help them get through these tough moments. This is my life. This is what I live for. This is my destiny. This is just, I'm putting everything I can into this.
What's your favorite success story? One that puts a smile on your face every time?
From my journey of what I've done.
For your work, yeah. Who you were affecting.
It's actually funny. Never forget my first, you could say, big speaking engagement in front of hundreds and hundreds of people. And every time I go and I talk to schools, I tell the story. I'm done presenting. Everybody files. They're all leaving the auditorium after the Q&A. And I noticed that there's this girl. She's just sitting in her seat. She's not moving. And her legs are dangling back and forth. And I'm talking to a teacher. And out of the corner of my eye, I can see she's just not moving. And I'm saying to myself, she's contemplating something. She's contemplating something. She wants to say something. And I'm done speaking with the teacher, packing my stuff up. And she pops up out of a chair, walks down the aisle of the auditorium and says, "Excuse me, can we talk?" I turn around, we start talking, and she says, "Look, that really struck a chord with what you were saying about your brother. My boyfriend is making those same choices, going through the same things. I don't know what to do. I'm really nervous. I'm concerned. And I want to say something, but if I don't say something, he said he's going to tell everybody my little secret." And that girl then pulls her sleeve up, and from her elbow to her wrist, she's got cuts in her arms. And she says, "I'm a cutter, Mr. Daddario. I cut myself with razor blades because I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I'm smart enough. I just don't think that I am enough. And I don't want anybody to know what I'm going through, but I'm so scared for my boyfriend. I don't want him to go down the road your brother went through." Down. And then we talked for a little. We were able to walk down to the guidance counselor's office and get her the help that she deserved and her boyfriend deserved. So it's funny because that was my first engagement, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, eventually I'll be making an impact. The first presentation, there was an impact saw. So that story holds dear to my heart because it was my first presentation. It was the first big impact I saw. And I mean, there was many more to come, but that was the first one.
So everyone out there has a perception of you, family, friends, clients, colleagues, everyone around you, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
I think I'm a person that is willing to do whatever they can to help those around me who are struggling. As a person, I just think I'm somebody that's very motivated. I am a man of faith. I am a family man. I just got married 2 years ago, so I'm really excited to start my journey with my wife. Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of sums up my life right there, who I am.
So we've kind of talked about youth and, making the right choices. If you have a dream tonight and ran into your teenage self and could give that version of you a piece of advice based on the wisdom you've gained in your life, what would you tell your young version?
I know exactly what I would tell myself. Don't care what others think. You know what the right choice is in here. Do what you know is right. And I say that because the biggest mistake I made in my life was I knew my brother was drinking. I knew he was smoking. I knew he was messing around with the pills. I knew he was shooting heroin, but I was so concerned. I was so afraid of what others would think about me, what they would say, how they would react, what my friends, would I be labeled a snitch, a rat? And so I didn't say anything. And if I had said something, just maybe my brother would still be alive. Maybe things would be different. So for me, I would say to my old self that you know what's right, and the right thing isn't always the easy thing. This is what I talk to kids about when I talk to them about making healthy and unhealthy choices. In the moment, when you're around your friends, to drink, to smoke, or even when you're not around your friends, self-harming, that stuff, it's easy to make that choice. But it's hard to face the music. It's hard to go against what others are doing at that party and say, I'm good, I don't want that drink. I'm good, I don't want to smoke that. I don't want that pill. Or to, instead of self-harming, cutting, being vulnerable, talking about the struggle you're facing and asking for help. That's another, I would tell myself that the healthy decision that's going to impact your life positively isn't always the easy one. The one that's going to be easy a lot of the times in that moment is going to negatively impact your life moving forward.
So if anyone wants to hire you, know more about you, anything about your world, where can they go?
They can go to ericdaddario.com. It's my website. My email is eric@thedecisionswemake.com. And I'm on all social medias, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Just type in Eric Daddario and my page will show up.
Eric, this has been great. Thank you so much for being transparent and opening up your world and your story. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Best of luck with everything.
All right, you too.